Hey crew, Mark Hatmaker here. Let me talk about, I'm going to give you a solo exercise that you're going to find on our newest release, which is the Rough and Tumble Guard Pass, Volume 1. And there's only going to be 2 volumes of it, I swear. Why? We've done a pass we did for a volume for Paladin that was 4.5 hours long, called Busting the Legs. Still proud of that work. We've got even more intricate in the weeds grappling coming up in the 1,312 Submissions Project. But in the Rough and Tumble Guard Pass, I wanted to give my strikers, my street combative people, stuff from the historical record and stuff applicable for today, where you don't want to be on the ground moving around. And also for those out there who goes, man, I respect grappling, but I don't really want to do it. And I hear you. I love grappling, but I also hear you. It's just not realistic to be thinking that way. So we do want to up and out on our feet. So the Rough and Tumble Guard Pass is meant to be 1 on the ground and 1 standing version, and I'm giving you all the options that come out of that so we can approach it intelligently. And I feel assuredly if you do those 2 volumes together, boom, you're going to go, this is really working on the 99 times out of 100 for what I'm looking for in these situations. I'm going to give you 1 solo drill. Actually, it's half of a solo drill to get us set. If we're going to be doing a guard pass of any sort, and we're going to be inside the legs, the bottom scissors position, please take a look at the support material. We've given you a few historical essays on this, a podcast episode on it, to really dig into the weeds with it. Whenever you're down on your knees, you're going to you got to really respect a back player's game. If you don't, you're just being foolish. You're going to get submitted and swept and hooked and choked, and arms and elbows and such, broken leg locks, a whole 9 yards. For this solo drill, we're going to assume you're an intelligent fighter, and I'm sure all of you are. You're going to be up into a tall kneeling position. You're going to be live feet, which means you're on the balls of your feet. You can play lots of inside guard leg work, inside bottom scissors work from this position, but that's assuming that you can stay down in a ground fighting position. If we are going to be in our idea is always on the street and movement or getting to our feet immediately, we want to remove this extra step of having to move from instep and up. We also want to make sure that we're never making 2 steps happen. We always want to make 1 movement to the feet. The other thing we want to be doing while we're in live feet positions, make sure we're always in a thrust position, not a counter thrust. What I mean by that, you're going to do 1 lewd motion. You're going to be doing the 1 little tick forward without belt line. You all know what I'm talking about, but you never do the counter thrust. It always stays forward. You're going to flat back. Everything we do, even on the feet, as you will see if you look at this material, will be about this thrust position. So we can flat back, the head is always up. If it's not forward, you are looking up a little bit. You're always looking down with your eyes, but never with the head. That's going to be a big component. We belabor that idea ad nauseum. When we're in between the legs, invisible person right here, here's their head, their legs wrapped around me. If their hips are this narrow, I snug my knees up against their hips. If their hips are this wide, my knees are snugged against that. If their hips are this narrow and I leave them out here, no go, because I've left a wedge right here for them to underhook and go to work. The solo drill I'm getting ready to give you is kind of think of it as a Rough and Tumble Guard Pass Burpee. It's only half of it. To rise up to the feet, I'm wanting all this to happen in 1 fluid motion. And again, I'm only going to give you half of it. So, we've got the floor bag as a stand-in for the human being. You understand why here in just a moment, because they often cause incontinence of people. In sport grappling, usually you have to work above the belt line. You are street fighters, you're rough and tumblers, you don't need it. You're working below the belt line, so you're looking at the bladder or the inguinal area, which is where you have that hip crease as it moves to the groin area. You're going to take 2 hammer fists and hit hard. It's always going to be with the elbows, this little chopping position if we saw it from the sideways, or if we're doing training with partners nicely, you can use the palms and place it, but it's always with the elbows moving to the inside. We see this position, not with them moving to the outside. Just like we denied wedge down here by squeezing in against the hips. If I'm pushing this way or striking this stuff, there's 2 more wedges. The human body has 6 wedges. We want to deny them. The more the wedge control we give to the opponent, the more they're going to grab it. So we take 2 wedges away here. We take 2 wedges away here. Once we've hit with this, or placed kindly with this, we want to pop up to the feet. When we pop to the feet, let's go to the profile with it. Whenever we pop to the feet, we're going to the balls of the feet. It's not going to be doing this nice and sloppy here, where the entire sole of the foot goes down. Why is that? Whenever the sole of the foot goes down, my weight comes off of the opponent. I want to make sure they're always feeling something directly out of that punch and pop as I'm coming up. It also means I go from that hips forward position from the flat back. We have a bit of a lumbar curve in it. That's a no-go for how we're going to be doing all this material. It also means, particularly since I'm light, means they're easily going to send me away with a big shove. they're going to sweep me, they're going to pull me back in, or they're going to be able to shove away themselves and then get back to the feet. And I wanted none of that nonsense. So what we're looking to do for that equal rise at the same time, deny the wedge, we're going to punch, pop, deny the wedge, and we come up to the balls of the feet, and we have the elbows to the inside. And notice whenever we're popping up, we don't pop up by leaning in. It means we didn't pop up like this and give them the head, because we're trying to deny the head. We're trying to make this a vertical line as much as possible. So I'm looking up to here. That's the solo drill. To here. There must be a continuation on how we move to the staggered stance. That's the other half of that rough and tumble burpee. But how we train this around here, we say, all right, we're going to say 50 reps, even before we get into do this guard pass, 50 reps of this for the whole version, and then we start pulling out everything from the 2 fistfuls of the vocabulary. It's 12 movements on this entire sequence. Even though you think, well, I need more than that? No, just be damn good at these 12 and you'll be good to go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, got some info out of it, or at least at the very least, and you train a little bit with it. If you're curious about the rest of it, well, that, you got to pony up, right? Not everything in the world is free. Thank you.